Hey guys, it's me, totally random girl with some cheap sunglasses here, and today I'm here to talk about a book that I just finished called Meet Me in the Bathroom, Rebirth and Rock and Roll in New York City, and it's named after a song by the band called The Strokes. It's a book that describes the rock and roll revival, kind of like it says here, in New York from 2001 to 2011. I'm talking about bands like Interpol, the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, The Killers, MGMT, Vampire Weekend, and, of course, The Strokes. I just wanted to talk about how well written it is because, first of all, the writer, Lizzy Goodman, was at most of these early shows, like concerts, from 2001 to 2011. And almost all the people that she interviewed for this book were like the singers, the band members, the people behind the music, the producers, the journalists behind it. And also, it's an oral history, which means that she did, hundreds of interviews, and she did not write a single word, which means that, she positioned it like, okay, this is one guy's quote, and this is a quote that pertains to that guy's quote. She did not write a single word. It's all just, oral history. It's the history, of the decade told directly by the people who were a part of the history. Tons of bands are mentioned in this book, in addition to the ones I've already said, but there are some that I've never heard of, but I did check them out after, and all of them were still great. So, this book is a good read, even if you don't like any of the bands mentioned, because it also talks about the music industry as a whole and its evolution throughout the decade. This book doesn't just talk about music either, since journalism sites like Vice and Pitchfork started because of the New York rock scene. There's a chapter also about where everybody talks about their experiences post 9/11, or like where they were during 9/11 and how it changed their outlook and how they, changed their songs because of it. There's a chapter about the chaos in the music industry when iTunes and Napster became popular. And then there's like a ton of other chapters about how all these bands knew each other and they're all connected in some way, which is very interesting because you would think that, they're unfriendly, they're all in the same industry, they're all trying to make it big. Like, no, they were all friends. They were all trying to be cool with one another. And, it's kind of like a big family. And then, of course, some of them also had drug addictions and alcohol problems. But with the way that she structures the quotes, it's not just, for example, Albert Hammond Jr., the guitarist of The Strokes. It's not just him saying, yeah, I had some trouble with heroin back in those days. But instead, there's people, in addition to Albert, saying things like, yeah, like the quote after Albert's would say, like, yeah, Albert had a pretty bad problem and we really felt bad. Or like, we tried to help him and he finally got him clean. There's such there's such a family-oriented feel to the way that this book is written that makes it so intriguing to read about. It's also a good read if you want to compare how some of these bands are today, or if you've always wanted to get into some of these bands and you never did. Highly recommend this book to anybody, really. It's a great gateway into this type of rock music and scene. It's an even better companion for the people who like the genre. Yeah. That's all I got. I don't really have anything else to say. Yeah. Go check out the library's other videos.